What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us again for another episode of FORCA BARCA podcast. We are coming at you right now, right after the game with Levante. Ended with 3-2, with Barcelona winning the game. So let's dive right into it, and let's get into it. So, Mustafa, you wanna get it? We wanna just give us set it up for us. It's Sunday evening. What's the lineup for our team?
Yeah, we had Ter Stegen in goal. Defensive lineup was Jordi Alba, Eric Garcia, Araujo, and Dani Alves. In the middle, we had Sergio Busquets, Nico, and Frankie de Jong. Then we had up front Ousmane Dembele, Ferran Torres, and Aubameyang.
All right. So let's start with the first half. Give me your impression. What you think of the first half?
And the first half was very very nervous performance by Barcelona. I don't know exactly what was the reason for them to be, especially defensively. They were all over the place. It was not a good display. And up front, they basically Levante had Aubameyang basically being invisible for the entire first half. He wasn't even like he didn't even exist. Um, so many misplaced balls from the defensive line. The ball distribution
Right.
was all over the place. And although you know me, you know my stance on the older generation like Busquets and Piqué, but you can see the quality that Piqué has sometimes,
Yeah.
not always, and not as consistent as it was once. Once, but today was pretty. At least the first half was pretty.
Yeah. I'd say since Javi came in, PK's level has been unbelievable. And it shows in Frankfurt when he got out, and it shows today when he's not
Um,
playing. We struggle to get passes forward through the midfield, and from the midfield to the forwards.
Let me say something up front. I think Eric Garcia had a fantastic game. Although when it comes to ball distribution and going forward, it wasn't like what Piqué. He was defensively probably our, and for the first half, he was basically our best player
Yeah.
besides Ferran Torres.
Yep. No, I
So
agree. I agree with that. One thing that Oba, I wouldn't blame him too much for, especially for the first half.
there was no blame because this
He
is
didn't
this
even
is
get
the
the
role
ball.
that he
Right.
this is the role that he plays. He's a traditional striker,
Striker. Yep.
and it's not on him. It's on the team to make him
Service him.
out.
Yeah.
And it is so. But let's not get ahead. What are your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah. First half, I thought like I was really frustrating to watch because, I mean, you could tell that Levante was gonna pressure us pretty much all game. So they had like 7 players, right in our half to try to stop us from playing from the back. So when that happens, usually what Ter Stegen would be looking for the long balls, right, to try to either get to Ferran or to Dembele to try to get from the wings there. That wasn't working. Every time that tried to happen, it did not work. When Eric or Alba tried to do the same thing from the back all the way to the forwards, that didn't work. Nico misplaced a lot of balls when he got the ball. Everybody pretty much misplaced the balls. It was like they were nervous. They didn't want to lose the ball. They were, and it plays into it if Levante's pressing us so much, which they were. So yeah, I think first half was not a great display at all, and you can tell every time they got to Javi, he was frustrated. He was yelling at them. He was trying to get instructions for them, but it just wasn't working for us at all in the first half.
Unfortunately, because and we get to that later, but the first half in Frankfurt
It's pretty
was
much the same.
also,
Yeah.
uh,
Uh,
and but I think the importance of this game, like for the players, because there was some rotation
yeah.
here, even though of course Piqué couldn't play. But having Nico in there, for example, and Dani Alves, it's very difficult to gauge whether this game is important because we are playing against someone who's about to get relegated, and for them it's very important to get
Yeah.
these 3 points. So we cannot underestimate the passion that they are going to play.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they play against us like this every time. Last year we draw them 3-3. Every time we play here, I remember like always a hard game. They always give us troubles. Um, so I was expected to be a really tough game. And unfortunately for us, it came in between the two Europa games that we have. But yeah, so let's get to the second half. In the first half, not really much happened from our side. Let's give credit and shout out to Eric for that save from the goal line. That was unbelievable.
No, he had especially in the first half, he had a fantastic display. He was hands down our best player. For me personally. And I think he had a great game. And as much as I criticized him for not being that much of a talent when it comes to defensive work, he had a fantastic game. And kudos to him. It was necessary because, of course, Ter Stegen softened the blow. So there was a possibility for him to save it, and
Yeah,
he's done it. It's very important because that defensive behavior, uh, geez Louise, that was absolutely shambolic because Morales was just
we're just
it was
walking
like,
basically. It wasn't even
yeah,
sprinting.
like they laid out a red carpet for him.
Right.
Please come in, please.
Yeah. Yeah. It
So
was
it was very first half was very shambolic. So,
very
but
shit.
not yeah, nonetheless, I think of course it wasn't going our way with the calls. Of course, the penalties were all justified, but it seemed if this was the Koeman era, this game would have
We would have
like
lost it. I think we were lost there. We would never came back
yeah,
as strong as we did.
and coming back 2 times and a half is no small feat. That is something that speaks about this morale. But let's start from the beginning in the first half. I thought that Xavi would make some changes because Dani Alves and Nico didn't play well.
Yeah.
Both of them had a bad game.
Yeah, Alves. It looked like he
And
was had this. As soon as he got hurt there under his ankle when he tried to pass, I felt like he was just taking it easy and not making runs up front anymore.
yeah, but even up to that point, I think even the first 20 minutes, the first ball contact that he
Yeah, he
had was
had.
a
Yeah,
misplaced ball.
yeah.
And then when we get to that situation where he might have injured himself, that situation, if he passes the
Passed it
ball
to
to Ferran
Ferran. Yeah,
Torres, that, absolutely, there was poor judgment from him,
yeah,
and it was a bad game from him. I mean, Dani Alves is a legend, and we cannot underestimate the important role that he plays within the team
yeah,
because it's not always just about what happens on the pitch. It's also what happens off the pitch. And he's someone who's always in good mood and trying to keep the squad united. And you need to have those players as well. But when it comes to this game, it
It was
wasn't
not very
his
good. Yeah, it wasn't his best at all.
and Nico as well. And I thought that he might react from the get-go, but maybe he had he already laid that idea and said to them, and you could see that they tried to press higher
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning of the second half, but like it always is, sometimes karma strikes back, and then we had those misfortunate calls against us, those penalties
Yeah.
that were all justified.
Yeah, the
And
first one was who's Alves was the first mistake, right? Yeah, Alves with when he had his
yeah, that one is a 50-50 call. I mean,
yeah.
there are some referees that
I mean, that was
don't.
dumb from him anyway. Why would you lift your arm when it was already covered? Araujo was there. He was going nowhere. So I think that was just a reaction from Alves that I'm sure he regrets it right afterwards, because he really didn't need to lift his arm up at all. I mean, he just let him pass. That Araujo had him covered. He was right there, gonna go with him when that happened. So it wasn't something where it was like a 1-on-1, and if he didn't do that, there was gonna be a goal or anything like that. So that's
Exactly.
I thought it was dumb, but like it's just again, it just shows how shit we were the whole game. So there's just, when that happened, I'm like, okay, well that's just fucking great, because that's expected, because we've been playing like shit for the last 60 minutes. So yeah, so that's the first goal, right? They got a penalty against us with Alves' mistake. And Morales is the one that converts it. Take us away. Take us away. What happened after that?
After that, we got into the game, so it wasn't like we didn't. And I think essential for that was that you could see that whether it was the fatigue of the
Levante.
defensive line of Levante,
Yeah.
or whatever it was, you could see that slowly they were making some space, and Dembele finding some opportunity to go to the baseline and cross the ball,
Yeah.
and slowly you could see that, and then just like that, second call. And this time it was handball, if I'm
Okay.
not
I don't
mistaken.
even know. I don't even think I would give it. Like if I was a ref, and of course I'm just saying that because you'd say I'm a Barca fan, so I'd say it's not a penalty. But like it's very difficult in the sense that it was so close to the player's head. Like the player heads it, and then Eric is right there. He's not even looking at where the ball is, and it just hits him in the arm within like a few, like not like a few centimeters away from. Like it wasn't even. It was really close to the player. So I don't even know if I would give that. It's just very harsh, I would say, to give a penalty like that.
Yeah, but at the same time, the arm sticks out, so it's not on his body anywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
So
the thing.
and if you cannot gauge whether the ball is going straight to the goal or because
It wasn't gonna reach the goal, but there was a Levante player right behind Eric. So if he didn't touch that, there was a goal scoring opportunity. So I get that, but my beef with it is we've seen so many of balls like that are not given last year, within the last year, because the rules are not fucking clear. Like it's either sometimes it's a penalty, sometimes it's not given. Even when it's not when the hand is not in a natural position. Like if somebody's jumping and the hand is flailing and the ball hits it, a lot of the time, especially if it's that close to the player, it's not given. So I didn't expect him to give it, and when he did, I'm like, oh well, fucking just make the rules so clear for everybody. That way, it's not like always a debate about it. Now, every time that happens, it's a debate about it. I
but
digress. But
fortunately,
yeah,
yeah, fortunately, I mean the penalty wasn't shot uh, that
right,
good. Fortunately, Ter Stegen, you need to give credit to him too, because it's not like just because the shot isn't
right.
as
If he jumped
powerful and
the other
as
way, it
yeah
would have been an
yeah
end. Yeah,
yeah yeah. So that kept us alive, and after that, it was we had those two changes that brought in the heat.
yep.
I mean, Gavi and Pedri. This is there something that we didn't already say about those two, and especially about Pedri? It, there is just no words to describe how lucky we are to have those two young players already playing those roles, having this impact. It's um, it's a gift, man. It's a gift. That's all I'm going to say, because they
Yeah.
come in motivated. They don't care against who they play, whether it's Levante, whether it's Frankfurt, whether it's whoever. They are just trying to play good football and giving their best for this club. And this is something, this passion is needed. It's needed. And I understand that a lot of these players, they've seen it all. They've played against all of these teams. They've won every single hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to fix this.
Um, um, they've won basically every single trophy. So of course, maybe there's not that hunger, but for these two guys to come in and do what they've done, of course, we had first their first goal, Dembele, um,
The cross. Yeah.
yeah, the perfect cross. It was a perfect cross, and he had that space that he needed. Oh, and of course, Aubameyang, if you give him that much space inside the box, you know he's going to score.
That's the thing. He didn't have
You know,
service pretty much all game, and once you get him in no scoring opportunities, you give him that space to actually operate in. He's dangerous. So like
yeah,
it's
the thing that I like about him is he doesn't give up, even if he has like a bad game,
mhm.
like in the first half. I think it was pretty smart to leave him on the pitch that far
Yeah.
by Xavi, because he's a constant threat
He's always
no matter
sprinting.
what.
Yeah.
And he proved he proved it. So with his goal, with his header perfect, there's nothing the goalkeeper can do from that distance. And of course, then right after that, that dribble by
Ah,
Gavi,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and then the pass.
I didn't expect him to do that. I'm like, okay, he's gonna pass it
Yeah,
back, and all of a sudden I see him charge. I'm like, ah, damn.
yeah.
Who's this guy? 17-year-old.
And then of course that goal. No, there was no need to stop the ball, and just
Just right
playing,
away.
shooting
Yeah.
that, and beautifully. This is just pure technique, uh, pure football. This is 10 out of 10. That shot and that dribble right into the 16-yard box. Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
second game in a row where he's very instrumental and getting us those 3 points.
Mhm.
I said,
Yep.
second game in a row. Yeah, it's just amazing to see him uh, just dominate every time he's on the field. It's crazy. It's just crazy to actually think about. But it's something that we really needed in the beginning of the year. And unfortunately he was injured. And I think with of course with Xavi, he's even having one of the best, if not the best, midfielder of all time to coach you is a plus when it
Yeah,
comes
of
to that.
course. There's a lot of things that he still can teach him, and what what excites me most is, of course, the potential that there is sky's the limit. Just having these two on the team and seeing the impact that they have on any game is absolutely amazing to watch. And like I've said, once they were in the game, we had a new dynamic, and then
Yep.
boom, another another penalty for the opponent.
Yeah, fucking
Another
Langley, man.
justified,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
another justified penalty. And but this time, um, gotta give Xavi a little bit of. I'm not going to say it's his fault, but
I mean,
pinching up.
you can tell that Alves was done. Like he was exhausted and he
Yeah,
was injured.
yeah,
He was limping when he was going out. So given substituting him, he should have probably done it in the first 45 minutes and got Mengueza in. But yeah, I think instead of Long, I don't think Longley should have played. But I mean, we didn't really think he was gonna fuck it up. Although I'm pretty sure every Barca fan had a feeling that was gonna. Every time he goes in, the last couple of
It's not
years,
about
he
it's not
fucks it
about
up.
Longley, yeah, but it's not even his fault like that, you know. I'm not going to blame him. Of course, now that we've won, I'm saying that, but it's not about it's not about him because you see, you play this entire game. You see that the defensive line is some sort of struggling, but right after Gavi and Pedri came in, you had a lot of defensive work being done because the role that Nico and Frankie De Jong played today, I didn't like that
Yeah,
because they were too much engaged up front and they didn't have a lot of defensive work.
we didn't
Of
really
course,
control the
when we
ball either. Like we didn't
yeah,
control the pace of the game.
yeah, and of course when Gavi and Pedri, of course we talk about offensive, their offensive work, but what they are so annoying. Both of them are so annoying. They are always trying to interrupt balls, intercept balls,
Yep,
to get right into the player one on one. This is something that is also needed when we talk about defensive work.
yep.
And I think with those two substitutions, we had a very good mixture of both. And the thing that I thought that he's going to do is take out Dani Alves and keep Araujo and Garcia in
From
the
Mangueza.
defensive line and bring in Mingueza.
That's how I thought it was gonna happen
Because,
too.
uh, because that would, I mean, at the end of the day, of course, Mingueza is not up to that level, but you don't have, you just got to keep like maybe score another goal, bring in King Luke De Jong, and he will handle it. So, but whatever the case may be, we had that penalty call. It was absolutely justified,
It wasn't even
and
just
they
the
scored.
penalty, but like when the pass went through, if Longley was a few centimeters back with the line, it would have been an offside. He was literally
Yeah,
almost to the
yeah,
same line as the forward, which got the forward to get the ball and try and create the chance. If he was with the line, it would have been so he broke the line there, the for the offsides, and then he created the penalty. He actually fouled the player in the box. So
yeah. But
twice he made the mistake.
but that one is basically because there was no communication beforehand between them, and
Right.
not only the communication was missing, we don't have someone like Piqué, because the importance of Piqué is not only that he's good at distributing the ball
The leader
most of
there.
the time,
Yeah.
but he knows when to collectively um, go out as a line. So maybe because in that situation, it would be very easy to keep the opponent offside.
Yeah.
And I think someone like, because that would have been Piquet's position there. Um, Longley would be uh, would get the hint, or maybe he shouts or something like, or gets a signal so he knows I have to go a couple of meters in front to keep the opponent offside. But it didn't happen. Whatever the case may be, they got that penalty. They scored that penalty. Nothing Ter Stegen could do about that one. It
Yeah.
was shot phenomenally, and then again, man, we came
Two
back.
two. Yeah, there's just
Yeah,
and you can like I was like okay, so 1 point, whatever, you know what I mean. We could have won this, but fine. We'll take the 1 point, I guess for today. And then I forgot that Luke is back because he had COVID last couple of weeks, so he was back. And then I see him coming in. I'm like, oh boy, okay. Well, let me hold on to my seat because this might get interesting again in the last 5 minutes. And boy, did they deliver with that the last few minutes. They fought to the end, man. Everybody fought to the end.
especially the youngsters. And we got to. I mean, whatever happens with Luc De Jong at the end of the season, we got to salute the man. He scored some phenomenal goals, some important goals, and even these 3 points. At the end of the season, they could be very important, these 3 points
Yep.
for the Champions League qualification. It's it's a joy to have so many different strikers, different profile, and especially when Ansu comes back, then you have so many different profile of strikers that bring always bring something else to the table. Of course, De Jong is not going to be the fastest. He's not like Aubameyang constantly pressuring the defensive line, but he's clinical up
Yep.
front. He can guard the ball because of his physique. It's and we have all of that at our disposal. And if Memphis and Aubameyang and Luke and Ansu and Ferran and Adama and Usman are all um, fit, and we have them at our disposal, that it's a fantastic offensive line over there. You have a lot of potential.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what it leads to. I hope that they find a way to keep Usman. If it's feasible, if it's something that they can come up with a agreement. It'll be great to have him and still get Rafinha if we can. Because I think having him both on that side is gonna be it's if Dembele is injured, we'll have Rafinha. If Rafinha is unavailable, we'll have Dembele. So you're not gonna lose either way. You're gonna have a powerful right winger there to carry you through the games. So yeah, it's very very optimistic for us to look at our forwards, even especially now that every time we our defensive line makes mistakes like today, we can
Mm.
rely on our forwards to actually do the job and press the whole time and actually try to score throughout the whole game instead of just give up and try to defend the whole time like was happening pretty much a lot in the first half of the season.
Mm. True. It is a process, of course. We cannot expect everything to be as smooth as if Xavi would have took took the team over in the summer,
Right.
because there was no time for him to adapt to everything. Now we are in the middle of the season, and it started horribly, and now we are in a great position in the league. Something that I've never thought. it could happen. I'm going to be honest. I thought it's going to be that we are going to end the season in the midfield in the table, something like seventh place, sixth place, something like that, something along those lines. Now we are like, what is it, 60 points?
I think so. Double check
Yep.
that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. We're 12 points away from Madrid right now.
That must be 60.
60, yeah, we're 60 and they're 72, yeah.
Yeah, like 60 points in the fifth and the sixth are like what, 4 points, and we have a game at hand.
Yeah. So we win that one, we'll be 9 points behind them.
Yep.
And 3 points away, 3 points away from Sevilla and 6 points away from Atletico.
Yeah, and that, of course, it's good that the thing is the next fixture is very important for us, and I'm not talking about Frankfurt. I'm talking about Cadiz.
Yeah.
The game at home against Cadiz, because it's the fixture. It's the same day, not the day, but the Sunday. Real Madrid plays against Sevilla in Sevilla. So
We got to win that one, yeah.
we gotta win against Cadiz. So if we win that, because whatever they play, if Real Madrid wins, fine. We
But
leapfrog.
we'll be 6 points away from Sevilla.
Against.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And if Real Madrid loses, fine. We put some pressure on them.
Yeah.
If they play draw,
That's
the
okay
better.
too. Yeah, it's even good. That's even better.
It's the perfect because no disrespect to Cadiz, but at home we should be able to beat them.
Well, and I think Anso's supposed to come back at least for a few minutes there too. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, it's going to get the crowd nuts once again. And
Oh yeah.
because the next games are going to be difficult against Real Sociedad and Betis.
Is Sociedad at home or away? Do you know?
I think Sociedad is away.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's always a tough game to play them there.
Yeah, it's going to be like we are going to have like a very tough game and then a breather, and then a very tough game and then again a breather. I think it's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, Cadiz at home. That should be something that give you a little bit to breathe, and then we play Sociedad away. It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
And then
we'll play Rayo at the 24th. Rayo Vallecano.
Okay, so that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, that one. And then we have Mallorca at home.
Yeah.
It should be a breather too, although they've beaten Atletico recently, and then it's going to be Betis away.
Yeah, Betis away is gonna be. That's the one. That's a crucial one too. But it looks like Betis is in a downward spiral, which is good for us. So we'll see the next few weeks what happens with them and see how their form shapes up, if they get better or just stay in decline there. But yeah, I mean we have an opportunity to do some damage especially if Madrid loses points and we stay consistent. So far I think this is the 15th game that we haven't lost, which is a very good streak that we didn't even think that would happen this year, but here we are.
Yep.
Yeah. So
and it's at a very important time.
It is, and it's like we have multiple games. Europa is intensifying with Frankfurt this last week and this week, and it's just very intense. And the players, you can tell some of them are tired too. Like I'm sure it takes a toll mentally and physically, going, especially if you're 17 and 19, in the case of PEDRI and Nico and Gavi. But yeah, it's an exciting time for us too. It's very competitive, and we're playing good football, so it's even better for us to watch.
Yeah, of course. I think this one, especially this game and the first half, and I think we can talk about Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Those two weren't really good per se.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, we can switch
the-
to Frankfurt if you want, just to
yeah.
to pile it up to go from this one to Frankfurt, just to compare and talk about like the game and how it went.
Mhm.
So give me your impressions of the game.
Yeah, of course, the first half was absolutely once again, I think similar to the one against Levante. Not a good look.
Yeah.
It's very disappointing
Yep.
to have seen that. Um, of course, the atmosphere and everything, but I'm not too sure whether they underestimated the opponent. But whatever the case may be, the first half wasn't good from nobody.
Yeah.
It was basically failure all over the pitch.
Yeah, and Frankfurt pretty much did the same thing that Levante did today, especially in the first half, where they pressured pretty much throughout the whole first half, especially in our side. They had pretty much all their players there to try to pressure us from not playing from the back. And I'm not. It's not an excuse, and I think the players talked about this too. Is it's been raining pretty much all day before the game, so like the whole pitch was really wet. So it was very hard to move the ball around from the back through passes and how we do quick passes and all that stuff. It was very tough to do that. So they started just long pass the whole time, and Alba and Eric just had a terrible game as far as that goes. Every long pass they tried to do just did not work.
Yep.
Okay, so the first half didn't really nothing really of important happened. So what do you think of the second half?
Yeah, the second half didn't even begin really. It's not like I had an idea whether they were better or worse than they came out, but Frankfurt just pressured us and came into chances, and then that one corner, the clear, and the absolute stunner of a goal.
Yeah.
Then there is nothing anybody can do about
It
it.
came out of nowhere too. As far as like, I didn't
Yeah.
even think he was gonna shoot it from there.
Yep.
And it just one of those where very rarely when you see it actually go in. And it just did. It's just very unfortunate for us.
But after that, they even had a lot of more chances, and
Yeah.
that one surprised me. It was once just like today, the defensive line. There was just Araujo in that game, like today Garcia in this game, who played at the top level.
Yeah.
The rest was just failing.
Yeah.
Absolute failing, and they had the chance to make it 2-0, Frankfurt, and but thank God they misplaced those balls, and after Xavi knew he needed some changes and brought in Frankie de Jong and Ousmane Dembele, the game changed once again.
Yeah.
You had another dynamic.
Yeah, and I think like I love my boy Gavi, right? It just did
Yeah.
not work for him in in that side. On the right side, on the left side where PEDRI usually plays, for whatever reason for that game, either they pressured him too much every time he had the ball. His movements were not working in the first and the beginning of the second half. So So sometimes this doesn't work out, right? It doesn't mean that you're just a terrible player or it just did not work out
No,
for that
no.
game.
It depends on the
How the game is
opponent,
set
of
up. Yeah,
course.
yeah,
Not because sometimes I watch Bundesliga and it's more about physicality. So I think someone like Gavi is good in games against La Liga teams and maybe even some teams like I think if he would play against a team like Manchester City or a team against like PSG,
more
he would
technical.
shine.
Yeah,
Yeah, because this is the if you are going against in the midfield, if you're going against someone like Verratti or Gundogan or some players that are also about technical stuff, and this is the duel that you want to see.
yeah,
So it's an even playing ground. But in this specific game, we needed someone like Frankie De Jong, who is more physical, but also fast on the ball, has great ball distribution, and he came in had those ideas in the perfect passes, and the rest is history. That goal was amazing to watch.
unbelievable. Yeah, the passes remind me of the goal with Messi and Pedro when they had that
Yep.
1-on-1 in
Mhm.
the in UCL. That was a pretty similar to it.
Having those 1-2s,
Yeah,
give go, absolutely Barca like. This is what we want to see. And was then the red card. We could have gone probably, but we've played it safe, so we didn't want to catch another one.
yeah,
So I think there's a lot of potential to improve our game, especially in front of our fans in Camp Nou. I think Barcelona needs to display some football because that game wasn't good,
yeah,
no matter what. So
yeah. No, I agree. And just to put a little perspective there, I have the interview that Eddie Garcia and Busquets did with after the game, just to take a listen to what they said. So
okay.
let me play that real quick here.
At the end of the day, it's not a bad result for us, seeing how the game went. I think in the first half we could have done a little bit more. I think we were a little bit surprised in terms of the way they press, the way they play in the counterattacks. I think in the second half we were a little bit better, especially after the goal. And in the last 10 minutes, with a man down, I think we pushed, but at the end we didn't get the victory. I think it's good to know what we're going to get in the second leg, but with our crowd, I'm sure it's going to be different.
Well, the fans at the Camp Nou will have their say, like they always do. We'll bring our force as well, and those two things will come together for us next week. Above all, we'll be at our best because that's what's important in a final.
Well, it was a really tough game, really difficult. Eintracht is a very good team, well organized, especially in defense, and they create chances in the transition in the counterattack. But now is the moment to show our real level at home, no, in Camp Nou. We need the supporters, we need the fans, so it will be difficult, but we can playing at home.
Okay. All right. So what do you think about what they said?
I think the best summarization had Eric Garcia described the game pretty well. With the first half being very bad, and then coming back in the second half much better, but or a little bit better, he said. And hopefully it's going to be a different game in the Camp Nou. So
Yeah, I think the intensity is going to be super high. I think we're going to go in pretty much the same way we did with Atletico and Real Madrid, where just going to fucking swarm their side and just run nonstop until we score. I think it's going to be that kind of game when we go in on Thursday.
yeah, hopefully, because this squad some real threat, and we can beat them. Um, I'm not talking about easily, but we can beat them if we are putting our A game. It's going to be very difficult for them, not for us.
Yeah. No, I agree, 100%. And it's if we, especially if we play our first line, like for our lineup that we should be playing with Pedri and Frankie and Dembele and not rest them and actually play our starting lineup. I think we'll be able to steamroll them and score.
There's no reason to rest anybody.
Right.
think this
That's we rested for this game for the Thursday game. So I think we should go full force. I think that's what Javi has in mind, is just to go in and kill the game in the first half an hour, and so that way at least we can take it easy for the rest of the game. But not take it easy, but not kill ourselves, especially because we have a game again on Sunday.
Yeah, but no, it's on Monday.
Oh, Monday. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's on Monday. Yeah.
But I think that game against Cadiz on Monday, especially because it's on Monday, you have like an extra day. So of course you are going to play on Thursday, and it's 3 days. But at the end of the day, you have those 3 days to recover.
Especially
And
playing at home Thursday, so we're not traveling, which helps a lot.
playing at home on Monday and of course Thursday. So those two things come good, and I think there is no reason to rest anybody against Frankfurt, because with all due respect, Cadiz is not a team you should rest anybody for.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, 100%. And
Busquets is not going to play against Cadiz because he's
and Araujo
he's
too.
received another. Both of them.
Yeah, Araujo got a yellow. So it was his fifth yellow.
Okay. Oh, it's that.
So yeah, hopefully Des is back by then. He's supposed to be back, I think, this week. So hopefully he's back.
Okay.
All right. So I think that should be good. We can start to wrap things up. Before we should, and I think I talked to you about this yesterday. We should shout out our peeps that are listening and watching. We really appreciate the support. We really appreciate you guys tuning in every week and just listening to what we have to say. And I'm sure it helps to have somebody talk about it. I'm sure as I always looked for podcasts and programs where I could listen to somebody talk about the games, and just to have that just to listen to it and be engaged with everybody that's a Barca fan. But I want to shout out to our listeners from Mexico, because we've been monitoring locations for people that are listening to our podcast, audio form podcast, on Spotify and Google Podcasts and all those. But we see a lot of our Mexico fans are listening, so we appreciate you guys tuning in, and appreciate everybody from all over the world. We have very diverse listeners from all over the world, so we really appreciate it, and we're just gonna get better. We're just gonna start. This is our second month, Mew, we've been doing this.
Yep. It's going to get much better, and there are some things that need to improve, but we are at it. And if anything comes into your mind, anybody who's listening or watching, feel free to write down in the comments and let us know. And like Red said, thanks to everybody listening all over the world, and especially like you said, shout out to Mexico. Gracias, chicos and chicas.
We might do an episode in Spanish.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? I'll just
think-
Google Translate the whole time.
I think they would appreciate it. But for whoever is listening, maybe sometimes we are going to have some subtitles in Spanish.
That would be cool, yeah.
Um,
But, yeah, so thank you everyone for listening. We'll be back again next week. Maybe we'll do Thursday or Friday just to react to the game for Europa if we have time. If we don't catch it, then we'll try to do on Monday. But we'll just keep. I'm sure if you follow us on podcast, you get a notification if we will drop a new episode. And if you're on YouTube, do the same. Hit the bell so you can get a notification when we drop a new video. But we really appreciate you guys, and thank you so much. And all right, so you guys want to say before we close it up?
Thank you for the support, and see you next time.
All right, see you guys. Bye-bye.